Personal protective equipment is the armor that we put on as we go into battle against the enemy that are safety hazards on the job each day. How's it going? This is your Supply Chain Pro here, and in today's video, we will be reviewing the importance of personal protective equipment, otherwise abbreviated as PPE, in keeping you safe in your daily activities on the job. Every day, in order to fulfill the basic duties of their job, the average employee must interact with various tools necessary to do the job, and they have the potential to find themselves in wildly different situations. Sometimes tools are relatively harmless, like a rubber eraser when you make a mistake on a report using a pencil that you can simply just use to erase. Sometimes the work task requires a tool that has the capacity to harm the user. Think of an angle grinder or a chainsaw. These types of tools are oftentimes used on a job site to perform a cutting activity. However, there are some additional hazards that come along with these tools that puts an employee at risk when using them, especially when compared against the simplicity and safety of the rubber eraser. Having high-quality standard operating procedures for using tools with the potential to harm the user are the first step to protecting employees on the job. See another video on the channel on how to create high-quality SOPs. There are some situations in which no procedure can protect, and the user of the tool will want to have on some sort of bodily barrier or armor. When working with angle grinders and chainsaws, there is a hazard of the wood or small pieces of material that you are cutting flying in different directions and possibly striking the employee. Knowing this, you will want to have on clothing that is thick and durable to protect your skin, gloves to protect your hands, and most importantly, eye protection in the form of safety glasses. Our eyes are vulnerable to projectiles and foreign objects. They are soft, squishy, and have severe consequences for our vision if a piece of flying debris gets inside them. Imagine the consequences of losing your sight or having it impaired on your day-to-day life activities. Our eyes are some of our most important as well as most vulnerable body parts. And the simple decision that may take as little as a few seconds to obtain and apply your safety glasses could be the difference between going home healthy and going home with irreparable damage to your eyes. PPE types and usage will vary across industries and across job positions. Someone working in an office will require very little PPE compared to someone working on a construction site, as the hazards are totally different. The remainder of the video will explore some of the most common PPE examples at any job today. Hopefully you will find something new in this content and be able to take it back to your job and keep you and your coworkers safe. As explored in the example before, safety glasses and protective gloves are some of the most basic versions of personal protective equipment when handling anything that has the ability to break our skin or has the ability to go airborne as we are working on it to get in our eyes. The orange or yellow high-visibility safety vest is one of the most common types of PPE at any employer. The goal of the bright colors and reflective strips are to stand out against conventional backgrounds to ensure that the wearer's location is known by any vehicle operators on the job or passing by the worksite. Adding a mask that covers our mouth and nose additionally would protect our face and our respiratory system in the event we are working in an environment with airborne particles such as dust or a chemical haze. Fall protection is used when working at a height. Fall protection usually comes in the form of a harness that the employee would get into and a tether that connects the harness to an anchor or a fixed point. If the employee is working at a height or a fall could have severe consequences, the fall protection system would be able to catch an employee, saving that employee from the elevated fall hazard. A hard hat should be worn at any job location that there is work going on above a plane that someone could be standing on. Items accidentally dropping from above could land on unsuspecting employees on the lower plane. Covering our head through the use of a hard hat minimizes the impact of minor to moderate injuries to the head in this scenario. A back brace or a lifting belt is a type of PPE designed to support the human spine and muscles of the back, providing additional support during lifting activities. It is advised to always know your body limits and never lift anything heavier that would put you at risk of an injury. However, back braces and lifting belts provide additional support for employees in highly repetitive lifting roles. Remember, Lift with your legs and not with your back. Steel toe shoes are another common form of PPE designed to protect an employee's feet. Our toes stick out relatively far from the human body and sometimes can get trapped or have items fall upon them. Steel toe shoes provide some protection for our feet in the event of a falling object hazard or something rolls over them. Earplugs are another common piece of PPE as they protect our hearing when working with loud tools or in a loud environment. Long-term exposure to loud noises can result in hearing loss over time, and earplugs protect our body's auditory senses. Different industries have different niche PPE types for their specific usages. Some examples of common niche PPE types include face shields and nitrile gloves that are used in the medical industry to guard against airborne and fluid germs and viruses. Thermal gloves and outerwear for workers that are in cold weather environments protect against frostbite and other cold-related health conditions. Welding masks protect the eyes of a welder while performing the weld. Impervious rubber gloves and goggles are used to protect employees working with dangerous chemicals. And finally, electrical-grade gloves and shoes are for employees working in electrical high-voltage occupations. PPE can be a simple step that protects you against sustaining a workplace injury. Take a moment and review if you are at risk of any of the hazards discussed in the video today and evaluate if your job has the appropriate PPE to keep you safe. If not, make sure to have a respectful conversation with your supervisor about the risks and how something as simple as PPE can keep you safe as well as save the company workers' compensation claims. If you can show the company how the negative consequences of a safety accident could hurt their finances, you will have a higher rate of success convincing them why PPE is important. If you have a unique story related to PPE where someone didn't have it on or someone used their PPE incorrectly, comment down below. If you found value in the content of this video, like and subscribe. This is your Supply Chain Pro, out.